I started at Calloway Farms back in 2004, right after I got out of tech school. North Georgia, Hall County, if you know the area. We did it all from live bird receiving and slaughter to marinating and shipping to retail and fast food suppliers. Nasty work, but steady pay. You get used to the smell eventually, or at least you think you do. One thing you never get used to, though, is the strange hum that vibrates through your bones anytime you're in or near the plant. After a couple of years on the job, in early August 2006, they offered me a promotion. Maintenance supervisor, night shift. I was ecstatic. I had been a day shift lead in the evisceration department, EVIS for short, for 7 months at this point, but I felt like my skills were wasted on sharpening knives and handing out PPE, and the pay raise I would be getting was unbelievable. I should have known something was off when the night shift manager shook my hand and said, in his typical southern drawl, "Once you see what we're doing down there, you'll understand why we pay maintenance so much." At first, I thought he meant the rats. I had been told by the night shift crew about the rats that infested the wastewater channels below the plant. They'd creep into the picking room. That's where the feathers are removed from the dead chickens before they get to EVIS, on night shift, and drag away any unattended carcasses not cleaned up from the production crew. Some said if the lines weren't running, you can even hear them gnawing at the bones. The first few nights were fine, lights buzzing, conveyor belts whining, obviously drowsy line workers cutting, rinsing, and bagging. My crew usually loitered around the maintenance shop waiting for a call, and by 3 a.m., we had gotten just that. "Maintenance, EVIS line 2, please. Maintenance, EVIS line 2. A drain is overflowing." The crackle of the radio handset on my shoulder had snapped me out of a half-asleep stupor. 10-4, EVIS line 2. I'm coming, came the reply from Rodrigo, who was an older, slightly shorter than average man from Guatemala, and also my lead technician. I had always thought he was incredibly agile for his age. Rodrigo was a seasoned veteran of the maintenance department and had been with the company for longer than I'd been alive. Rumor at the time was that Rodrigo had been asked to step into the position after the last supervisor retired, but had politely declined the offer for personal reasons. I'll even admit he would have made a better fit than me. I decided to find Rodrigo and go check out what the issue was together. Clogged drains were usually something mundane, like a whole chicken or an apron winding up in the drain when it shouldn't have, and usually didn't require a maintenance tech to fix. I met Rodrigo in the hallway between maintenance and EVIS. He was carrying 2 arms full of tools, a large crowbar, a ratchet and socket set, a lantern, and a long hook used for dislodging anything that makes it past the wall partition out of the drain. "Need some help, man?" I asked, happy to have something to do. "Hey, boss man, you headed to EVIS too?" I nodded and grabbed the crowbar and ratchet set, then followed him through the large double doors into EVIS. Using the crowbar, Rodrigo opened up a small gate that diverted incoming water and viscera to a separate drain, so we would have a better view of whatever was clogging up this one. "I don't feel nothing in there, boss. Want to take a look?" he said, offering me a mag light. "No, bud, I believe you." He had just spent about 5 minutes digging around in the drain with the hook. "Got anything longer? It might be further in," I asked, trying my best to be helpful. "Can't be. It's a sheer drop after it goes past the wall. We're going to have to use the service ladder," he replied. He turned on the lantern and led me through a locked door to a stairwell that I never knew existed. Rusted iron steps going down past the foundation, with the walls turned from poured concrete into something more akin to a natural cavern. I could hear something dripping. but it was too thick to be water. It smelled like copper and rot down there. Never been down here before, and I thought all the drains went to wastewater, I questioned, a little puzzled as to why we'd need these stairs. I could see the confusion and concern cross his face as he stared at me in the light of the lantern. They do. All of them except for this one. I'm surprised they didn't tell you Never mind. Probably just better to show you anyway, he said, a hint of something conspiratorial in his voice. Show me what? I asked. For the first time in my 2 years at the plant, I had noticed something. Actually, the absence of something. That strange hum that seems to always be around the plant is gone here. Not quieter, not further away. Gone. I thought to myself, this disturbed me, even more so than the discovery of an entire subfloor I had never heard of. Rodrigo looked at me once we'd reached the bottom of the staircase and whispered, "Stay quiet, and whatever you do, don't pray to your God. He won't hear you down here, but it will." I was not a religious man at the time, but even then, his words sent a chill through me. There's a chamber down there, huge, rounded like a cistern. A loud, wet, crunching noise could be heard from the darkness below, and at the top of the chamber, suspended by chains, a large metallic sphere hangs, its surface almost shimmering. 3 thick black wires snake from the sphere and disappear into the darkness a few feet from the level where we stood. Don't go into the circle made by the wires, and it can't touch you. Whatever you hear down there, pretend you didn't. Do not respond to it, not even in your head, Rodrigo said in a low, almost reverent voice. The end of the drain is across the chamber, on the opposite side of us. We will walk around the perimeter of the room to reach it. The wires are bare, do not touch or step on them. Rodrigo flipped a large lever, and the chamber bursts into light. I didn't see it at first. It wasn't a rat. It definitely wasn't a chicken, though it was surrounded by their carcasses in various states of decay and mostly half-eaten. It didn't have fur or feathers. It was slick and a deep, oily black. When it stood up, wings akin to living shadow unfurled from its back. I could hear faint whispers tugging at the edges of my mind from the moment I noticed it. When it inhaled, the whole room got colder, and when it breathed out, the temperature returned to the same muggy warmth as Evis, caused by the hot water that ran into the drains above us. Then it spoke, not in words, but through vibration. The walls hummed, the air trembled, and I understood at once what it was telling me. No, demanding of me. Free me, Edwards. The feeling of that creature's order swirling through my head made me instantly nauseous. I tried to remember what Rodrigo had told me about responding to this thing. Was I meant to refuse? No, The next thing I remember was waking up to Rodrigo dragging me back up the stairs. I felt a hot, throbbing pain in my right hand. He slammed the door shut and locked it. "Are you crazy?" he said. "That damn thing almost got loose when you shorted out the wires." I looked at my hand and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. 3 of my fingers were gone. No blood, just cauterized stumps in the place of my pointer, ring, and middle fingers. The shift manager was standing over me, a terrified look on his face. "I'm sorry, son. This is my fault. I should have met with you on your first night and explained the rules of working night shift maintenance with you. This one's on me, boy. Come with me to my office," he said solemnly. By 8 a.m., my manager had called in a team of clean-shaven men in black jumpsuits with strange triangular symbols on the left chest pocket. They carried tablets and what looked like metal detectors. One of them tapped the floor near the drain that was clogged and said, "Inverse containment field still active," in an accent foreign to me. My manager told me shortly after to take the week off, fully paid. I tried to report it anonymously, but every email bounced back. I called the Inspector General of the USDA, but the day shift supervisor later told me that the USDA inspector, who followed up on the report, didn't even go near the drain or the door. He just signed some paperwork and left without saying a word. I returned to work the following Sunday night. My manager wanted to meet with me before my shift, so I reported directly to his office instead of doing my usual walkthrough of the machines. "Has anyone seen your hand, son?" he asked me. "No, sir, except for Rodrigo and the doctor. The doctor said it looks like it's an old wound, though wouldn't even prescribe me an antibiotic," I replied. "Give me your hand, boy. Consider this one of the benefits of your new role." Confused, but interested in what he had just said, I offered my hand to him. Searing pain. I screamed. "Heh," my manager chuckled. "Yeah, that's the usual response." "You listen here," I said, pointing my finger at him. He smiled and looked down at my hand, and so did I. Where once there were 3 stubs, now extended 3 fully formed fingers. "How did you," I started to say, but was cut off. "Perks of the job, my boy. Those sciencey types from Sweden offer all kinds of goodies. All we have to do is keep it fed and keep quiet about what we're doing here. Who cares if a few dozen chickens a night go missing? Heck, we don't even have to power that thing's cage. It actually provides most of the power the plant needs to run by itself. Ever notice we don't ever have power outages here?" He winked at the last word. "Now, on to business, son. Those fine gentlemen in the jumpsuits you seen here last week, Technolodians, I think they call themselves, they've been watching you since then. They told me you tried telling stuff that ain't meant to be known. That's okay. They caught it before it got out. I explained to our friends that you're new, don't know no better. They understood. This time." He said the last couple of words with a severity that I was unaccustomed to, far removed from his usual bubbly southern charm. I was dumbfounded. This chicken plant has, for all I can tell, a literal demon trapped in the basement feeding on excess chicken carcasses, and my boss is a miracle healer. Now, run along and keep those machines running. We are feeding America, son. I overheard part of one of their muffled conversations a few weeks back. "Kyrie field resonance is stable. Risk of containment breach at 0.00013%.